This week, multi-layered movement. Just as in the board game chess, real warfare is met with move-counter-move. As Lee zigs, Grant zags in the deadly dance of battle. Both sides fight to lead, stepping on each other's toes in the process. These officers are used to the beauty of balls. The question is, can they bring that elegance to the battlefield? Virginia, Lee's headquarters. The failure of Grant at the crater has given freedom to the formerly restricted Army of Northern Virginia. General Jubal-Early is outnumbered in the valley. It's time to help him out. Grant's headquarters. Orders come in. Reinforcements are being sent to the valley. To stop this, forces must be sent to threaten Richmond. It's time for Deep Bottom to be used again. The 2nd Corps under Major General Winfield S. Hancock, and the 10th Corps under Major General David B. Birney. You might note that Quincy Adams Gilmore doesn't lead the 10th. That's because he now leads the 19th. Changes in command have been happening. The 14th, Amos Burnside, was replaced in leadership of the 9th Corps by General John Parke. 28,000 men of the Union brought against 15,000 of the rebellion. What follows for the rest of the week is skirmishing and maneuvering. Hancock takes a powerful position and threatens his opponents. We lost 2,899 to 1,500 of the rebellion. Ulysses S. Grant is flush with work. He has reports from Deep Bottom coming in, a prisoner exchange request that he has to take care of, and an upcoming expedition at Petersburg. A staff officer comes in. Message from the commander-in-chief. Oh, for heaven's sakes, what does the old man want now?
I have seen your dispatch expressing your unwillingness to break your hold where you are. Neither am I willing. Hold on with a bulldog grip and chew and choke as much as possible.
Grant is bolstered by this support and takes his typical strong stance. It is hard on our men in southern prisons not to exchange them, but it is humanity to those left in the ranks to fight our battles. Every man we hold, when released on parole or otherwise, becomes an active soldier against us, at once either directly or indirectly. If we commence a system of exchange which liberates all prisoners taken, we'll have to fight on until the whole South is exterminated. If we hold those caught, they amount to no more than dead men. At this particular time, to release all rebel prisoners north would ensure Sherman's defeat and would compromise our safety here. Grant wants an equal exchange, officer for officer, man for man. That includes colored troops. A continuation of the previous exchange would so greatly favor the rebellion, it would be a national embarrassment. While my faith in General Grant has seriously been shaken from his disaster at the crater, he's always at his best when he has multiple movements. With reinforcements sent to the valley, others held down at Deep Bottom, now is the perfect time for an action at Petersburg. The 5th Corps and the 9th Corps, under the command of General Gouverneur K. Warren and General John Parke, cavalry under the general that isn't Sheridan, all under the complete control of Warren, are set to move against Weldon Railroad, Globe Tavern, Warren's HQ. Against the first reports of battle, Confederate cavalry pickets are pushed back, and the railroad is already being destroyed. Beautiful work. Next report, Major General Henry Heth has brought his Confederate division and pushed back the lead men of Officer Ayres. A fresh Federal division arrives at Heth's front. The regiment steady their rifles and unleash enough shot into the Greys' front. The counterattack of the Confederates is halted. Ayres rallies his men and pushes back Heth. First day saw the 5th Corps lose 60 killed, 440 wounded, and 381 missing. The rebels suffered similarly. Commander Crawford and his 3rd Division are holding the line steadily. The 190th and 191st Pennsylvania form the beautiful forward line. General Ambrose Powell Hill and his 3rd Corps move to strike General Warren. General Mahone leads 4 brigades forward. 2 of these brigades slip behind the forward line, and in short time, 2,700 Union soldiers fall into the enemy's hands. The rebels pushes back half a mile. Brigadier General Joseph Hayes leading his brigade is captured. General Warren still holds the railroad, but he can't let this affront stand. General Wilcox moves forward. The battle rages. Companies form up and deliver volleys. Smoke chokes the battlefield, and the wounded. The 9th Corps, though badly bloodied by the crater, performs well, moving in and pushing back against the rebels. The Confederates did well on the 19th, but as night falls, they're the ones falling back. Riding through the valley, General Sheridan has a burning desire in his heart to keep his enemy Early where he wants him. The quick movement of our cavalry forced the withdrawal of the 2nd Corps of the Confederacy. Appealing to General Lee, reinforcements are dispatched for Old Jubal, General Kershaw's infantry, Major Cutshaw's artillery, and 2 brigades of cavalry from Fitzhugh Lee's division, Lee's cousin, all led by 1st Corps Commander Major General Richard H. Anderson. Sheridan dispatches 2 brigades to investigate this new force. August 16th, battle begins. General Kershaw pushes pickets back, but soon run into a Blue Brigade under Commander Thomas C. Devon. The rebel assault stalls. We counterattack. Kershaw attempts to flank, but during the movement, more cavalry strike. General Custer has arrived, and the rebel force is cut down. 300 Confederates captured. Regimental colors all fall into our hands. Instead of continuing battle against the oncoming infantry division, our cavalrymen take their trophies and turn back toward Sheridan. Sheridan is shaken. Grant had informed him Early might have 40,000 men. This is a gross overestimation. Early will never have more than half that number. He retreats. The traitors sense weakness. And on the 17th, strike Sheridan's rear guard, killing 97 and capturing 250. Sheridan's force, once separated, batting their opponents around like cats, are now concentrated at Charlestown. Sheridan might seem to be in a bad situation, but in reality, the two sides are evenly matched. The question now is, which commander is better? Another commander in the saddle is Major General Joseph Wheeler and his rebel riders, having left Hood's army to terrorize Sherman's supply line. 13th, Sherman directs the 20th Corps to fall back to a river bridge. To protect our trains, hospitals, spare artillery, and the railroad depot. This might sound impressive, a whole army corps, but Sherman has 6 others, numbering 70,000 men. We just upon the Mackin Railroad below East Point. The 14th, at Dalton, Georgia, Wheeler is blended by federal fortifications. The 15th, he is struck by a full force. And though his corps survives, it is made to retire. His damage is minimal. All the railroad tracks he tears up can be fixed faster than he can destroy them. With Wheeler in his rear, Sherman realizes no one can counter his cavalry. The 19th, he sends Brigadier General Judson Kilpatrick with almost 5,000 mounted warriors to teach Hood how to destroy railroads. Moving even further south to Alabama, Union forces that shut down Mobile Bay are strangling Brigadier General Page at Fort Morgan. They demand his surrender. I am prepared to sacrifice that, and will only surrender when I have no means of defense. No means of defense? That can be arranged, my friend. From a port to the seas, it seems to be a law that after every frightening rebel vessel is eliminated, a new one must arrive. The CSS Alabama, the CSS Tennessee, and this time around, the CSS Tallahassee. I guess we ran out of states. Led by Commander James Taylor Woods, nephew of President Jefferson Davis, grandson to Zachary Taylor, the ship captures schooners and civilian vessels, evades capture, and sails north towards Halifax, Nova Scotia, in the safety of the British Empire. During the United States, let's venture back to Florida, a state last seen with the disaster at Leuste. This is the Second Battle of Gainesville, which gets to be my favorite thing. Poorly sourced with conflicting evidence. According to one very biased source, they led the rebels. They lost 3 dead, 5 wounded, of which 2 would die later, and even lost 28 killed, 5 wounded, and 108 missing. There's no way that's true. The final action this week is an interview with President Lincoln. I'm not angry. I've only been asking for one for years. He picked someone else.
I don't think it's personal vanity or ambition, but I cannot but feel that the weal or woe of this great nation will be decided in the approaching canvass. My own experience has proven to me that there's no program intended by the Democratic Party that will result in the dismemberment of the Union. But General McClellan is in favor of crushing out the rebellion, and he will probably be the Chicago candidate. The slightest acquiescence with arithmetic will prove to any man that the rebel armies cannot be destroyed with democratic strategy. It would sacrifice all the white men of the North to do it.
I don't know what numbers the president is using for his arithmetic, but I agree that this upcoming election will decide whether the war continues or the Union loses. Then there is Sickles. Last week saw a new role suggested for him, Lincoln's man in New York. It's looking more and more necessary. Boss throw a weed to Secretary William Seward. Lincoln is gone. He basically told the same thing to Lincoln's face. Sickles wants the command, but he needs to get Lincoln reelected. That's where the week ends, and I fear we follow the rebellion. From Virginia, where Grant is trying to maneuver around Lee's movements, to Georgia, where Sherman follows in Hood's lead, to politics, where Lincoln must counter McClellan, who hasn't even been nominated yet. No matter how great our men are, we can't win the war on Davis's terms. We must regain the initiative. Hello, this is the entire Civil War Week by Week team here, and I would just like to thank you for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, yada yada, you all understand. And I really do hope to see you next week.